So what is the Big D-Day? The Big D-Day is the most amazing conservation project we've ever been involved in. It brings together partners from the public, the private sector, non-government organisations. It brings together Sea Cadets with Scouts. It brings together Airbus with ENI, with Kingspan. We have people, employees, we have members of the public out. It's cross-border, so we have England and Wales, local authorities from both sides engaged in the whole project. And originally, it was just to clear marine litter. Now it's more, it's evolved, it's developed into a sense of place. We have tackled the larger amount of marine litter off the Dee estuary. The days of massive plastic barrels floating up and down, filling 5 skips in the cleanups have pretty much gone. To me, the Big D-Day personally, it's the working together. It's achieving something that we can't achieve on our own. We, as the Countryside Service, there's just no way in a million years we could tackle the Dee estuary, however much we would like to. But this way we can pull in everybody from lots of different backgrounds. And the satisfaction of us all offering that little bit on 2 to 3 days a year, that's what makes it. We're able to achieve so much within a short period of time. And the satisfaction of knowing that we've organised that we've taken part in that, we've supported other groups, and they've been out and they have been able to develop their own personal feelings about the river and how they want to see it going forward into the future. And I hope personally that we've allowed people to see a good investment in the whole of the Flintshire coast and the delivery of the Wales Coast Path and its ongoing maintenance.
As Biodiversity Officer in Flintshire, Big D-Day is a hugely positive project tackling litter throughout the whole of the Dee catchment. Litter really creates a problem in all of our habitats and for all of our species, right through from broken glass and tin cutting badgers and foxes' paws through to microbeads in the ocean being ingested by the fish. Plastic is particularly bad because it just doesn't break down. And once it often looks like food for a lot of our marine and aquatic species. So once it's been ingested, it causes all sorts of problems, blocking digestive tracts, respiratory tracts, and also releasing poisonous toxins within the body, poisoning the species. It then it doesn't stop there because it works its way up the food chain and has even been measured in humans.
I'm the land manager at Talacra Beach, working for ENI, the landowners. And for the last 10 years, we've been involved with D-Day from day one, from your first day on the project. So as for the site, for Talacra Beach, it's meant that we've been able to keep on top of the litter and go to areas that we don't normally go to. So that's good for the wildlife, good for the habitat that's down there. On a more personal level, having those school groups with us that we invite every year means that we just had that opportunity to get that message across much more personally because we're able to be with the children on the day, and hopefully they're going home telling their parents, and that's remaining with them, and the next time they go to a wildlife site, any site, they're not likely to drop litter, or they see it as a negative thing when they do see it. So that's a whole generation really of kids that have grown up with that, and we hope that we carry on for another 10 years and repeat that all the way around North Wales and all the different estuaries that we've got, as well as just the Dee.
Well, the Big D-Day is very important to Kingspan. As an insulation manufacturer, we're already involved in the whole sort of climate change agenda with regard to saving energy with using our products. But of course, it's very important that we also impact on our local environment as well. And of course, the Big D-Day gives us the opportunity to do that. Not just working with the community, but also liaising with local companies as well to work together for the improvement of the local environment. One of the big memories I have of the Big D-Day is actually the very first, when we had David Bellamy come to the Kingspan Energy Centre in Holywell to actually launch the whole event. I mean, David gave a tremendous speech, really, really entertaining, and then did a massive star jump at the end of it. So we got some great photography of that, and it was a really memorable event.
The Big D-Day to Tesco really, really means a lot. As a big national leading retailer, part of our commitment is to make local areas greener and cleaner, and having 130 people out on the day can really make a difference to the areas that we serve. We've got 23 stores from North Wales, Cheshire and even Shropshire, and it's great to see that the colleagues that are out or in our local areas are really making an improvement to the areas that all the local communities can benefit from. The people that come out of stores from Tesco really get a lot from the day. It's great to network and meet other parts of the community, so the wider community, and also from a team point of view, it's almost like a great team building exercise, getting everybody to work together for a common goal, and it's actually great to get out of store.
Well, I first of all want to congratulate everybody at the Big D Day for their 10 years of activity around promoting the River Dee. We have for many hundreds of years had the River Dee as an industrial and economic area. What the Big D Day has done is bring the community back to realise that the Dee is more than just the economy and industry of North East Wales. It's also about how we enjoy the community, how we enjoy the river, how we look at it environmentally, how we protect it, and how we bring people back to both locally enjoy the river, but also bringing people to look from outside as tourists to enjoy the river. The volunteers and the community that have been engaged in helping to support that work over that 10 years have been magnificent. And as the Member of Parliament for the area, it's really my pleasure to say well done on all that. Let's promote the Dee. Let's enjoy its environmental community, and let's make sure that we protect it for future generations.
Big D-Day's a fantastic event. I'm really pleased that Flintshire County Council is able to continue supporting the event, and it's fantastic it's in its 10th year. I was privileged to be at the very first Big D-Day, so to see its development to grow year on year and get better every year is fantastic to see. But I think it's also a fantastic example of bringing communities together, connecting people back to the River Dee, but also bringing together agencies cross-border as well. Of course, the river connects both Cheshire West and Chester area with Flintshire. So that partnership working is really important, and I hope to see that continuing in the years to come.
For generations, wildfowlers on the Dee, on both sides of the Dee, on the Welsh side and around Heswall and Parkgate and Burton, have gone wildfowling, and those communities have done an awful lot to encourage more and more geese and ducks to the area. They've dug lakes, they've picked up litter, and they've been involved with creation of wildfowl reserves. In particular, the Big D-Day means the litter side of things is now almost solved. We used to pick up about 4 tonnes of litter every year along the coastline. Now, with the Big D-Day, hundreds of people are clearing up this marshland, and as a result of it, we feel that the whole environment and the habitat has improved. So now, when you look out over the Dee, you'll probably see thousands more geese than were there 10 years ago.
I'm a councillor for Little Neston and Burton Ward in Cheshire West Council, and the River Dee borders my ward along the coastline, and we also have a number of tributaries that flow into the Dee. So we were able for the first time last year to work on one of the tributaries that flows through a place called Flint Meadow. We worked with a local friends group and we spent the day clearing out this particular bit of stream. And what we're hoping to do this year is to work with some other volunteers from Parkgate to do some work on the coastline, but also to work on some of our streams. And it's a really good example of where we can work with the community to clean up their local areas, their environment, and to make it a better place for us to live and for the wildlife as well. And I think the working and the coming together of these communities, but also the two councils and between England and Wales, is just a really good example of working together and how we can really make an impact by doing that.
Our group, the Friends of Edgarsfield Park, have been involved in the Big D-Day right since the very beginning in September 2007. And over that period, we've noticed a really big improvement in the banks of the Dee, with far fewer shopping trolleys, traffic cones, and much less litter on the banks of the Dee.
Big D-Day is a very worthwhile event for the Environment Agency to be involved in, working with other government organisations, charities, local community and the private sector to clear up what is a really important habitat for wildlife and also important river for people as well. One of the main things we get involved in is removing large items of litter from the river and its tributaries, which could increase flood risk by blocking our flood defences. But also we get involved in the Big D-Day, the invasion, in June every year, and that's tackling invasive non-native species such as giant hogweed, Himalayan balsam and Japanese knotweed. So again, trying to improve the river for wildlife.
Big D-Day is a key annual community event that Airbus is proud to play a part in to help maintain the health of the Dee estuary, which is a vital route to transport our A380 wings to Mostyn. We've been involved in Big D-Day from the start. The day is a great fun event and a brilliant opportunity for our employees to get involved in, and it really does symbolise community spirit at its very best by bringing together the local community, local authorities in Flintshire and Cheshire, businesses, schools and conservation groups, and long may it continue.
Well, SUSTAN stands for Sustainable Transport, and we are very keen to help people to live healthier lifestyles, get out in the fresh air, use transport that's sustainable, walk, ride bikes, and to enjoy the fresh air. The cycle paths are a very important part of that, and they go all the way along the River Dee. So for us, cleaning it up and keeping it a good place for people to enjoy is very important.
I think what's really important is that this isn't just a one-day event. This is an event that's over the years brought hundreds of people together who've become guardians of the River Dee, whether that's through businesses, through local communities, but particularly young people. And what's fantastic, I think, is that we anticipate to see this event going on from strength to strength. I hope today's event is a success, and I look forward to the next 10 years.